Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Unit 5, Day 6. Today we are covering surface area and volume of square-based pyramids. All right, and so the key to being able to find the surface area and volume of square-based pyramids is one, knowing what the formula is, and then two, knowing what each part of the formula, where it can be found on the three-dimensional figure. Okay, so we're gonna start by just identifying what the formula is, where to locate it, as well as what are the different parts. Okay, and so in over the next couple lessons, the formula sheet will be your best friend. Okay, on the SOL, there's going to be a tab where you can find the formula sheets. And so, hey, once upon a time, I was not given a formula sheet. Okay, I used to have to remember these in my mind. You don't have to do that. Okay, so you have a place where you can go find the formula, but the formula is only as helpful as you actually know when to use it and what each part of it means. Okay, so formula sheet, formula sheet, formula sheet. You're going to hear me say that 10,000 times over the next couple of lessons. So make sure you know where it is. Make sure you have a copy. Make sure you know how to use it. If you have questions about what any of the pieces mean, make sure you ask, okay? All right, so today we are just focusing on this part of the formula sheet, all right? So a square-based pyramid. Well, a square-based pyramid has a square at the bottom and it kind of goes up to a point, all right? That is a pyramid. And there's two formulas, both of which we're going to talk about today, one for volume and one for surface area. Okay, so I want to make sure that we know what each of these parts are. Okay, so the big B, I do need you to understand that that is a capital B, and that stands for the base of the area of the base. Let's go area of the base. I was going to say base area, which is the same thing, but the area of the base. And so to find the area of the base, we're going to do side squared, okay? Because in this case, it is a square, all right? So we're just multiplying side times side in order to get the area, all right? Now, the H stands for the height. It's pretty self-explanatory, all right? So those are the two parts that you're going to need for volume, okay? Those are the two parts that you need for volume. Now, for surface area, the SA stands for surface area. We have two other ones that we don't have. We have an L, okay? And I like to draw a capital L. I'm sorry, not a capital L, a cursive L, just so it doesn't look like a 1, okay? So an L, that stands for the slant height, okay? So the L stands for the slant height, okay? That is the height, not straight up and down, but it is slanted. It's usually on the side of the triangle. And then the P stands for the perimeter of the base. The perimeter of the base, all right? And then we got capital B again, big B, we already have defined that. So you're gonna need to know these things. If I were you, I would make sure maybe you can highlight these things, different things. The beauty is it does sort of tell you on the formula sheet, it kind of identifies, in case you forget, you can pay attention. The big B, it shows the shaded part. That's the area of the base. The H is the height. The L is the slant height. So you don't have to really remember, you just have to pay close attention and make sure that you are picking the right dimension, because what's going to happen a lot of times is you might be given more information than you actually need. If you put in the wrong piece, then you will end up getting the whole thing incorrect. All right. And so, friends, this is pretty simple once we understand all of the different parts, all right? And so there's 4 steps that we're going to use for all of these problems over the course of the next couple lessons. The first step is we are going to decide which formula to use. Now, I've already, limited to these two formulas for the sake of time, but again, you're going to be given a full formula sheet that has many different formulas, so you got to figure out, okay, which one am I using? Once I have figured out the formula I'm going to use, I'm going to identify, okay, the information that is given, all right? And we're going to use this sort of box to help us organize it. I'm going to encourage you to do that. And then after that, you're going to substitute the information in for the variables. Okay. Hey, the beauty about this unit is Desmos calculator is also going to be our best friend in addition to the formula sheet. All right. It'll certainly we will solve it by hand, but we also are going to allow the Desmos calculator can do a lot of the work. That's why I have it pulled up here. All right. And then we just evaluate the expression. And so let's look at a first example. All right. It says, what's the volume of this figure? Okay, so what's the volume of the figure? And again, this figure is square base pyramid. So I'm going to look at my figure. I'm going to go to my formula sheet. I'm going to identify it. It is volume equals 1/3 big B times the height. Okay, and so now I'm going to identify, okay, what pieces do I need? Well, I need big B and the H. Okay, and so I'm always, not always, you're given this sort of box to help you. You won't need every piece of information all the time. So again, in this formula, I have the big B and the H. So I need to identify, okay, what's the big B and then what's the H? Those are the only two pieces of the formula that I need. So I'm going to write big B equals, okay, and remember, big B is the area of the base. Well, the base is 12, okay? So the base is 12, so to find the area of the base, I'm going to take 12 and I'm going to square it, okay? And that gives me 144, okay? So the area of the base is 144. And then the height, okay? So now this is where it gets, again, can get tricky, right? I have this dotted line that is 14.8, and then I have this this slanted line that is kind of solid, and this is 16. And so, guys, again, the only mistake you could potentially make here is picking the wrong one. So again, if it's talking about height, if I'm asking you your height, I'm talking about you straight up and down, not when you are slanted, right? So height is the one straight up and down. So that is going to be 14.8 centimeters, okay? And then from there, I got my two pieces that I need for my formula. I'm just going to substitute it in. So I got 1/3 the big B times 144 times the height. And then, friends, all I get, I can evaluate this by hand, but I'm going to say, for the sake of time, just use the Desmos calculator. So let's go ahead, type that in, 1/3 times 144 times 14.8, all right? And then that gives us our answer. That's the volume, 710.4 centimeters squared, okay? Now, here's what I know. Some of you are, probably thinking to yourself, well, I know another way that I could use the Desmos calculator and solve it. Well, I want to show you that really quickly, okay? And so to do that, I can just type in my formula just as it is. So 1/3, and let's say, I'm going to say big B times the height, right? And so then that's my formula. And now all I got to do is say, well, big B equals, and what did big B equal? It equaled 144. And then I can put in the height equals 14.8. And as we see, it just solves it for us. And so either way, I'm going to be honest, this is probably my favorite way. Just typing in the formula. You don't have to you could put the V equals if you want. Forgot about that. If you want to put V equals, you can put the formula just as it is. V equals 1/3 base times height. Then tell me what the area of the base is and what the height is, and then there you go. All right. So guys, this is pretty simple. All right. Now, so here's what I want you to do. I've done example number 1. Now it's time for you to try example number 2 on your own. All right. So I want you to follow the steps that I have outlined, and then I want you to solve it on your own. Hey, did you pause the video? Or did you just kind of keep watching and not do what I asked you to do? Come on, man, just pause the video. Hope you paused it. Hey, so I know most of you paused it. Some of you didn't. That's all good. It's actually not good. Make sure you pause it. That's the only way this really helps you. All right. So, hey, I'm going to walk through this pretty quickly because you've already done it yourself. And hopefully you are just, checking your answer here. So decide which formula. All right. It asked me what's the volume of, and this is a square-based pyramid. So I find my formula. Boom. Square-based pyramid. Formula equals V equals 1/3 big B times height, okay? All right, and then I figure out, okay, what do I need? Well, I need B equals, and I need H equals. So I'm gonna write B equals, and let's see what the big B is. The area of the base, it is, the side is 6. To find the area is 6 squared, so it is 36. The height, it only gives me the height this time, so you're welcome. And then I'm just gonna substitute them in. V equals 1/3 times 36 times 10, okay? And I can put that in. So V, I shouldn't have got this out of the way, but, or shouldn't deleted that head rather, equals, let's go big B times H, all right? And I'm gonna say big B equals, what does big B equal? It equals 36. And then the height equals 10. And so once I substitute those in, I get that my volume is 120 cubic feet. All right. Hey, so that is how you solve and find the volume of a square-based pyramid. All right. Now, let's go into how to do the surface area. All right. And so the difference between volume and surface area is volume is when you are filling something up. So imagine, right, we had a ice cream cone in the shape of a square-based pyramid, right? We're putting ice cream in, right? Well, surface area would be, it's the outside. It would be kind of the cone that it itself. So in this case, we are looking for the surface area. Well, friends, the steps are the same. We just have a different formula because this time we're just looking for the faces, the outside. All right. So formula, identify, substitute, and then evaluate the expression. So the formula, I'm looking for what is the surface area. Okay, I'm going to go to my formula sheet. I'm going to find it. Surface area equals 1/2 times the slant height times the perimeter of the base plus the area of the base. Again, the L equals the slant height. The P equals the perimeter of the base. And to do that, we're just going to do 4S. We're going to do 4 times the side of that. And then remember the big B is the area of the base. All right. So all we're going to do is we're going to figure out what we need. Well, we need the perimeter. So P equals, we need the big B. We don't need the height. And then we need the slant height. All right. So the perimeter of this square-based pyramid is I'm going to do 4 times the side. And so the side is 12. And so that's going to give me 48. The big B, which is the area of the base, okay, the area of the base is 12 squared. And so that is going to give me 144. And then the L, which is the slant height, is 16. All right. So I'm going to plug in my values into my formula. So the slant height, so 1/2 times the slant height times the perimeter, which is 48. Again, you got to make sure that, again, perimeter is adding up all of the sides. I know I did that quickly, but the square has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why I did 4 times 12, okay? And that's how I got 48. Plus the area of the the area of the base, which is 144. And then I just substitute it in, all right? So let me switch out my formula here, all right? So we got surface, I haven't put in the surface area formula. Let's see if that'll work. Surface area equals 1/2 times the slant height times L times the perimeter of the base plus the big B. All right, and then let's plug in our pieces. We got the slant height equals, what does the slant height equal? 16. And then we got the P, the perimeter equals 48. And then we got the big B, that equals 144. All right, and so when we do that, okay, so putting in the SA, we can't do that, I'm assuming. So let's see, let's back that out. Let's see. Yeah. So don't put in the SA, all right? You can put it in for the volume, but you can't do it for, I wonder if I put S.A. I'm not going to do that. But it's 528. So again, just put in the formula, the expression part, not the equals SA. All right? All right. Hey, now it's your turn. I want you to pause it. Just remember, again, perimeter is, you could add up all the sides, or simply you're multiplying 4 times whatever the dimension of the base is. Then the big B, you're squaring it because it's area, and then the L is the slant height. All right, so go ahead and do this last one on your own and check your work. All right, here we go. So in this last one, formula is surface area equals 1/2 LP plus big B. Then we're gonna identify the perimeter of the base is 4 times 3, and that's 12. The area of the base is 3 squared, and that's 9. The height we don't need, the slant height is 5, and so therefore we're gonna substitute. Okay, so we got 1/2 times the L times the P, which is 12, plus the area of the base, and then we just substitute them in. Perimeter, the L is 5. Got to make sure that we put the pieces in the right spot. The perimeter is 12. Right? If we make a mistake here, we could obviously get the whole thing wrong. And the surface area is 39 square feet. All right. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I know this was a longer one, but in this video we've learned how to find the surface area and the volume of square base pyramids. Thanks so much for watching.